Leadership is so important, and especially for somebody who has the opportunity to work with young people. I have a lot of people who ask, what is the future of leadership in our diocese, in our church? What does it look like? Who will be leading in the future? And for me, it's an easy answer. It's the young people that we see around us, the people that we see at church, in our schools, in our programs. These are the future leaders. And what's interesting, today, you see our Holy Father speaking directly to these young people. You see him calling them to a particular kind of service. I want to read you a quote from his recent comments at Youth Day. Pope Francis said to young people, he said, "Do not be afraid to go out and to bring Christ into every area of life, to the fringes of society, even to those who seem farthest away, most indifferent. The church needs you, your enthusiasm, your creativity, and the joy that is so characteristic of you. The church needs leadership from young people." One of the really important things about leadership we talk about is what leaders do now. But oftentimes, some of the most important leadership experts have said that we really can only truly measure leadership after a leader has left. It's a truth in leadership that we don't often talk about. Every single leader leaves, and they always leave something. And what experts will say is that it is what they leave and how it grows and lives that is the true measure of leadership. And so I'm really privileged and honored today to talk about what that legacy can be and will be here in the community of St. Francis. At this time, this parish is commencing the endowment, the Father Mark Reamer Endowment for Leadership in Catholic Education. The vision for this endowment is very simple: to make leadership real and vibrant among our young people. This endowment will provide opportunities not just for the teachers and catechists in this parish to serve young people and to teach them about leadership. It will equip our young people with opportunities to meet with leaders, to get training, to be prepared for what lies ahead of them. It will give them the skills and the characteristics that are necessary for them to be the leaders of our diocese. Leadership is changing. It is becoming more complex, but more accessible. What Pope Francis is telling young people is all of you are called to leadership. All of you are called to do something in particular. We know who has been called, and we know who will be leading. It's now our responsibility to make sure that they are prepared for that kind of leadership. An endowment will certainly make that possible. The programs in this parish will not just serve the youth of this parish. Because when I spoke with Father Mark and with Jennifer, they pointed out something that was really important. There is nothing like this in this diocese. There is nothing like this in this region. This program can serve not only as a resource for the youth here, but as a resource for all youth around in this part of the country where the Catholic Church is growing so tremendously. And so I'm going to ask you tonight, on behalf of all of the young people who will be served by this endowment, for all of the people who are entrusted with the care of their formation, to give to this endowment. My wife and I and our children, we're going to give as well. This isn't our parish, but this is our church. These are our young people, and they will be our leaders. And so tonight you'll have the opportunity to give to something that is a legacy. St. Francis said that you start by doing what is necessary, then you do what is possible, and then finally you find that you are doing what is impossible. Currently, nobody has thought of a way to reach out and form leadership in a coherent, intentional manner in this area, and St. Francis will be the leaders in that. You have that opportunity tonight to give to that. And so I ask that you consider supporting this endowment for the future leadership of our church. I was inspired by their call to action, and that's why I'm here tonight. And I hope that you will be inspired by this legacy. There's an old proverb that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Our church and our community needs leaders who will speak for justice, who will lead others, who will talk about the gospel not only in their words but in their actions, and who will love others enough and to spread the gospel message to the furthest corners of the earth. This is where it can start tonight. And so on behalf of your community, it's my privilege to introduce the endowment, to ask you to please give to the endowment, and to thank you for your leadership on behalf of this diocese and especially the community of St. Francis. Thank you very much.